Hi, I'm back here with Belinda Cook of the Queen Anne's County Arts Council, and we're going to talk a little bit more about the Chesapeake Storytelling Festival. Hi, Belinda.
Hi, Renee.
How are you today?
It's a gorgeous day again.
Yes.
You know, I talked to you before a little bit about the Legacy of the Chesapeake segment. In addition
Yes.
to our national tellers, we're going to feature a segment each year that focuses on the legacy of the Chesapeake Bay. And this region, I mean, we're so rich in heritage, tradition, and cultures, and a lot of those stories are getting lost. You know, they're not being passed down to, like, my kids, my sons don't hear the stories. And so it's time for us to make sure that not only does this region, next generation, hear them, but we can share it with beyond this region.
That's right.
And it'll bring people coming to this region. I mean, I really envision this becoming like the stories of the South over time. I really do. We're going to feature a couple of story swaps with watermen from Queen Anne's County, from LCOAL and Talbot County, because, you know, each area is a different culture, which is unique in and of itself. So you can't just get a Queen Anne's County group together and think that you've touched everywhere. So we've got Queen Anne's County, Talbot, and LCOAL this year, and who knows who we'll have next year. But this year the segment is going to be entitled Working on the Water. And so everything that touches it will have to do with working on the water, whether it's doing gill nets or it's tonging for oysters or catching crabs. And Brent Lewis is here with me today, or with us today. He's going to be in charge of our Queen Anne's County story swap with the watermen. He's going to produce it for me. And he's a longtime Kent Island boy. We went to high school together, and his dad was a waterman. So,
really?
you know, and I think he's got a special guest here with him today that was very instrumental in helping us get this segment off the ground. The Schultz family has been very generous and has sponsored this segment. Fisherman's Inn and Crab Deck they own.
Wonderful.
And they've been here for generations.
Yes.
So I would love for you to talk to Brent about what he's got in store.
Great, and I'd love to talk to him. Brent, I'm a city girl from Cleveland, Ohio, so this is very exciting for me.
Very good.
I didn't grow up on the Chesapeake, so it'll be a fantastic time.
Very good.
Yes, tell me about what you've got in store for us. I'm going to hand you the mic.
Well, what we're planning, working with Belinda and the Legacy of the Chesapeake section, the Waterman Story Swap. What we're going to do is have a small panel of local watermen. We're going to talk about all the local history, the traditions, the heritage of the watermen here in Queen Anne's County. We're going to touch on all the things that make their work lives what they are, what they do, how they do it. We'll talk about their best days. We'll talk about their worst days. We'll really try to get some good stories out of these guys.
Good, that'd be great. That'd be wonderful. Well, Mr. Schultz, we look forward to seeing you as well.
Yeah, Mr. Sonny Schultz.
Pretty damn rude.
That's right. That's our Mr. Schultz. You know what? He always keeps it real.
Keeping
doesn't he?
it real.
Yes,
Well, Mr.
indeed.
Sonny's been keeping it real for a long while. He, as Belinda mentioned, he and my dad grew up together on Kent Island, and Mr. Sonny was a waterman starting at a very young age. How old were you when you started working on the water, Mr. Sonny?
12, 13, something like that.
And what did you do back then? What was the
Call.
market? Call oysters? Who'd you go out with?
Different ones until I got with Teeny Jones and Robert Horning. So I stayed with them a good while, good many years.
Those are two very well-known local watermen who, from the past here in Queen Anne's County, correct?
Yep. Yeah, Robert was in the clam business later. Yep. He and I started out in the clam business when I come out of service. I guess this was 55. So
So you
it was
worked on
something new.
you worked on the water, then you went into service, and then you came back and started working on the water again when.
Yes. I started charter fishing out of Ketmore, I think it was 57, and running fishing parties. And then I run parties, oystered, and had a clam rig for till 1970.
Earlier we were talking a little bit about down here at the county slips. When about did you believe that this was created for the local watermen?
I'd say in the early 50s.
Early 50s?
We put our own little pier in, put stakes down. We didn't have all this fancy stuff in.
So you did it all yourselves?
Basically, they had the hole.
And it had been a Gardner property, Mr. Gardner,
I think Jack Gardner's father owned it.
and
He owned all this.
deeded this over to the county for the watermen specifically?
I don't know if there was any money transferred or not. I have no idea.
So basically, for decades, watermen have been coming in and out of here, going into the Chester River, the Eastern Bay, Prospect Bay, crabbing, oystering. But there have been other markets, right? Eeling, clamming.
Right.
It comes in. They're not as. Do people still eel and clam here
Yes.
locally?
That's what those boats are. Some of them.
Behind us, these clam rigs.
Yep.
It's amazing. Still, there's still a lot of work boats here in the county
Yeah.
slips.
And I see it's getting a few yachts in it.
Yeah. Well, it's an industry that's finding it harder and harder to make a living at. Is that correct?
I think get the young people doing it. You know, I fell overboard with ice around. So damn cold, you know,
Where did that happen?
down Eastern Bay.
They fished you out.
No, they were laughing so hard. No, if the boat hadn't had so many oysters and it been low-sided, when I come up on side of the boat and wheeled myself into the boat.
Get
But
out.
I had gum boots on; they were full of water. So it was.
And of course, out of here with the watermen have always been known for being characters. You've known quite a few characters in your time, haven't you?
Yep. A lot of good drinkers, a lot of good timers, good storytellers.
Good storyteller, and that really is what this whole thing is about. Is trying to preserve some of these stories that these folks have before we don't have access to them anymore. So
Well-
it is real important to share this with the
Yeah.
people.
Well, my boys, they don't realize. You know, sometimes I sit there. I got 7 grandsons, so sometimes I'll sit there with some of Jody's children and tell stories. You know, pop up, what's this, what's that. But when you look around and you see the changes, it's really, really something. I remember working 2 days cutting with cross-cut saws, cutting this slip out.
Right here.
Froze up, and we could float on a little block of ice. And we worked 2 days cutting the slips out, so we get in the Nares to Oyster. And I think we made $12 a piece, George and I. I told George, I said, I ain't cutting no more ice for a while. the Lord put it there, the Lord taketh away.
Wait for the fall.
Spring. But I remember the Kent Nares, they closed it when they built this bridge, the first bridge, and they dug sand out. And what they did was the health department said the oysters wasn't worth eating. They were bad, you know.
Uh-huh.
Well, we worked in there at nighttime. I used to work in there with Teeny and Robert at night, and we'd come in, and then we come down and unload it when the sun come up, then I'd go to school. But I always said that the Kent Nares being closed helped put me through high school.
Is that right? And allowed you to go
Well,
to school.
You'd make $15, $20,
Right.
you know, and that was big money then.
And so you graduated high school, Kent Island High School.
It was 4 boys.
I was going to say, a lot of the guys back in your day weren't able to go all the way through school,
It
right?
was 4 boys and 12 girls.
Well, that's the kind of stuff that we're going to be talking about at the Storytelling Festival, the kind of guys we're going to be with, people who have a long connection to the area
Yes.
and have a lot of memories and stories that they want to share with people. I think it's going to be a real interesting and fun session.
Yes, it is. Thank you so much, Mr.
thank
Schultz.
you.
This is quite a treat.
Thank you.
It's very interesting.
Well,
And
and
you too, Greg.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
And I did just want to mention again, follow up on Belinda. We are lucky that the Schultzes and the Schultz family, the Fisherman's Inn family, are supportive of this. They've always been a big part of this community,
Yes.
and to have them involved with this, I think, is a real boon to the event.
It really is. Thank you all. Thank you all
Thank you,
so
Renee.
much. And please come join us. It's going to be a wonderful time. Bring your children. It's so important. We're not sharing this history with our children. They need to know, in order for them to know where they're going, they need to know where they're from. Bring your children. This is exciting, it's informational, and it'll be a treat. Belinda, I'll let you tell us one more time the date and where they can purchase tickets, and then I'll let you close us out. Thank you so much, everyone.
Thank you, Renee.
April 29th and 30th. And 30th will focus on the legacy of the Chesapeake all day. So, you know, wear your walking shoes.
Okay.
And it's at Chesapeake College, and you can get tickets at www.ChesapeakeStorytellingFestival.com. And if you really need to, you can call the Arts Council at 410-758-2520.
All right, wonderful. So don't forget that, folks. Get your tickets. Please come out. It's going to be a wonderful, wonderful affair. Have a wonderful day. We're here on the beautiful Narrows with history right here before us. Have a great day, and we'll see you at the festival. This is Renee with QAC TV, and we'll see you soon.